Hey everybody, this is kind of in response to a discussion that we are having on the Iowa Trappers Talk forum about pocket gopher trapping and some of the things that I'm doing after several years of watching what these gophers do and being frustrated by what's happening. I like to use the Quicksets and these Gophinators that Steve Albano makes, both in the regular and the Magnum size. You can see the difference in the jaw spread. We've got a big gopher out here, and this Magnum fits in the burrows a lot of the times better than the little one, but the little one still does have its place for young gophers. What I'm finding with these Gophinator traps, we're able to catch gopher. They're supposed to grab them around the rib cage or the abdomen and dispatch as part of the catching. I've caught gophers by the cheek, by the front foot, by the nose with these traps. They really grab on and hold. And what that's telling me is that gopher is pushing dirt from way back here and firing this trigger. He's not even close to those jaws with his body. They're putting, when it's dry in the summertime, they can push a tremendous amount of soil. The other thing we're noticing is fired traps. Boom, nothing in it. Well, that told me he was pushing just that much extra dirt and just didn't even get engaged by the jaws. And we saw a lot of fired traps with the Quicksets too. And again, you look at the distance from the jaws to the trigger, it's not hard for a gopher to push 2.5 inches of dirt, fire the trap. Well, he's still out here in the safety zone. Or if it catches him by the front foot, he can slip right out of that, no trouble. The other thing I've been having trouble with these Quicksets is as the triggers aged, they got a lot harder to fire. And I had done the video showing how to adjust these, and it did lighten up the firing a lot, but sometimes they would self-fire and sometimes they'd still be just terribly stiff. And a stiff trigger just allows that gopher to pack tighter and tighter and not get caught either. So a lot of frustration going around checking plug traps. And so I started monkeying around in my shop. And this is what I came up with. I took the factory trigger off of the Quickset. That I found the best way to take these factory triggers off of these Quicksets is to just take a side cutters and pop the rivet, and then take your file. There's little crimps on the jaw arm here, and just file those crimps off, and this little washer and the trigger part will just slide right off the end. So you have to do it on both sides. But I've tried cutting these with bolt cutters, sawing with a hacksaw, and they're just a terrible nuisance to disassemble. But taking the side cutters and a file to these crimps, and they slide off. You can have one off in a minute or two, and it's ready to go, and to put your remanufactured trigger on. Annealed number 9 wire. The way mine is set up, it takes 6 inches of wire to make this trigger. The other thing you'll notice is it's set back 3/4 of an inch farther on the body of the trap compared to the factory trigger. Now, in a gopher's world, 3/4 of an inch is a big deal. We've been hardly getting any misses with this setup as compared to the factory trigger. And so I'll show you a little bit of how what makes this trigger do its job. On the one side, it's just filed flat. It is at a slight angle, not this severe, but it is a bit of an angle. The other side has a notch filed into it, and you can see how that is. And then half of that notch is filed away at this angle, so that the part that actually does the triggering is smaller in surface area. So when it sets, this goes just on that edge and the notch goes down on the flat, and there she lives. And then it's just a matter of fine tuning them. They are fussy, but they fire easy, and they don't self fire. When it's engaged, it's going to stay set. I do attach it to the trap with some jack link chain so that I keep the trigger with it. But this has been a big improvement for me. I thought I'd share it with everybody. Just put it out there. I didn't invent this style of trigger. I've seen it on mole traps, or at least the concept of a flyaway trigger. But you see that it moved quite a bit before it fired, but the movement was very light and easy. And again, you watch, it moves. Well, there's 3/4 of an inch. That makes him deeper in those jaws. Still going, still going. Finally. So by the time he actually fires that, we've probably got 1 3/4 more depth. And I'm noticing we're catching big male gophers in these traps that we had not been before. And I think it's just a case of he's pushing a lot of dirt and we're able to engage him. So hope this is helpful. And like I say, it's a lot easier to do a video like this than to type a big long written out story and still not get the images right. So hope this works, and have a good one.